Good morning, YouTube. Well, Donald Trump, always surprised. Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Okay, it didn't take him a hot month to now. He's rescinding these, or removing protections for transgender students in schools across America. When he ran, he said that he was for LGBT rights and that he wanted to encourage diversity. That's bullshit. We know, and he's not through picking on these people. You know what? Let me just okay. Most of the transgender people I've known in my lifetime have been from the streets. I don't really live in the streets anymore. My crowd is a little different now. Basically, my crowd is me now. I don't, hang out anymore. But most of the people I met, they were prostitutes. Most transgender people I met through my life, through my 40-some years out in the world, I'm 58 years old, were prostitutes or boosters. Definitely drug addicts. We were all drug addicts. But I'm saying that to say is, I find it so disturbing that he wants to remove these protections because just for a transgender youth to make it all the way to college, to make it onto a campus, to educate herself or himself, I mean, I think that's great. There's no reason why a transgender person is automatically a prostitute. What you do is you make it so uncomfortable for them to function in society. People do that they end up there. That's not where they plan to be. No, they don't. I don't think. I'm sure they didn't. When they were a child, their dream. Some people want to be a fireman. Some want to be a policeman, and I want to be a prostitute. I don't think that's the way what happened. I think to make it so uncomfortable for people, and God bless you, trans people who have goals, have dreams, who have apparently, if they're in college, some family support. We don't need to be making it harder for those people. If they identify that going to the proper bathroom is a huge thing for them, and I can imagine it is, because if I go into a man's restroom and the person looks like a woman and they're in the man's restroom, it's going to be an issue. Whereas if they're in a woman's restroom, what is the issue? Oh, they're going to hurt the children. That's such garbage. Leave those kids alone. Stop blaming all your damn prejudice on kids. Getting goddamn, why would the hell would somebody want to be a trans woman to go in and look at little girls' private parts? That don't make no goddamn sense. If anything, they're going to want to go in the men's restroom and look at little boys' private parts, which they're not having interest in that either. It is that is just, to use my elevated vocabulary, caca. It's such bullshit. It's just prejudice. You don't want to have to explain. How long would a conversation for you to tell your children if they encounter somebody that looked like they were in transition, to explain to them what a transgender person is? You resist that. You don't want them to learn shit. Now Trump, of course, and he ain't finished, baby. He's not going to stop with transgender people. He'll be doing things that are going to affect gay people. He'll be doing things that are going to affect negatively, black people, brown people, anybody who, but white people, especially male white people, and their women as just some kind of garnish. He's going to pass some legislation that's going to affect you. I'm just telling you that. He's pandering to these old white people. That's it. Those are the ones that put him in office, and those are the ones that vote. He's giving them what they want, because Trump knows he has a better understanding probably of trans people than the average person in the United States. Granted, he's rich and he's been living in his ivory towers, but coming from a place like New York City, there's no way in hell you haven't encountered any trans or LGBT people. He has a better understanding. But no, that's not the issue. The issue is these voters. And he's already proven that he can do it. So we can't just say, oh, well, he'll just be there 4 years and then there's no reason for him to campaign anything. No, He's already showed you what this country is capable of. So he'll be coming for us also. It only took him a month to start changing. Why would he even be interested in that? Why are you interested in some stupid student in Albuquerque, what restroom they go to? So you have to actually you have to intervene in a federal way into that. These people they're trans people, they have made it all the way to college level. They have been through a personal hell just dealing with people. We don't need to be knocking them down every time we get an opportunity, because what you're saying is basically there's nobody's transgender. That's what these people are saying. They're saying nobody's transgender. You're confused and you are a man. So they will never. I don't give a damn how much you transition, how pretty you are, how big your titties are. You're only a man to them. So they're making a judgment call, and that is abusive. That is abuse. These churches are abusive. Religious people are abusive, and then in society in general, I think are so desensitized to the plight of other people. So there's no way in hell you can live in Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco, Chicago. You're exposed to a lot of different kind of people. And that's why those big cities tend to be more democratic, because they know more people. You get these people out here living in these small towns, they've only known 500 people in their whole lifetime, and none of them are transgender, so they don't give a damn. A transgender person is not even a person to them. They keep them at freak status. But if they started being teachers and people in politics and working in the stores and working places, and they were exposed to trans people, they would have a much better understanding. So this thing just pissed me off, of course. And I know I'm going to be pissed off over and over and over and over again. As long as this dude is in the White House, I'm going to be pissed off over and over, because for him and those people who are following him, it really is about being the White House. White people, and I'm not a prejudiced person. I don't have no strong views about different kind of races, nothing like that. But the facts are the facts. White people are 62% of this population here. That makes them nuts, because they do not want to be put in the place of being a minority in this country, because they see how minorities are treated, because they perpetrated the treatment for the history of this country. It's fear. That's why they don't like Mexican people. They don't like them pouring it in, because they're changing the numbers. Whenever the Latin population goes up, that means their population goes down, the percentages. They don't like all these black folks here, but it's out of control. They brought them here. You brought on your own hell, because now you can't keep it purely white. And I think it's a huge, huge part of it. They are afraid of becoming a minority in this country. And I've heard it the last 10, 15 years, that we're moving in the direction where this country is becoming more and more diverse. Makes them nuts. When Obama was in the White House, they saw that White House was no longer a white house. The diversity makes them crazy. It's my opinion. I think we should leave these people alone, these trans people who have already had a rough time. I know what bullying is like, just for a gay person. Just for a person who wears glasses in grade school. Just for a person who's fat. Can you imagine what they go through as being a trans person, a young trans person, the struggle that they're in just to be themselves? We don't need to be making it harder. We need to be making it better. There's no reason that the majority of these trans people should be prostitutes. Some of these people are from good homes where people are educated people, and they have a chance of being a part of society. You put them in that position, and I know that from my own personal experience. You put them in a position where they have to turn to prostitution by making life so hard on them to function in your world, or what you consider to be your world. This is wrong. This dude has got to be stopped. This Donald Trump, people, I don't know how. We let him in the White House. We didn't care enough, or we didn't think it was. I don't think it was malicious. I think most people just assumed that he would not make it into the White House, and so we got lazy, sat on our ass, and didn't vote. We all got out and voted for Obama, because we knew there was a good possibility he wouldn't make it, because no one had ever made it before. He had to break the glass ceiling. So now you thought, okay, it's open now, so obviously Hillary's going to win. Donald Trump is a sideshow. Look at this, a mess. So I stand with my trans brothers and sisters. I think it's fantastic that they're in colleges, educating themselves, making a life for themselves, and they need to be encouraged, not discouraged. That's my opinion. All right, like I said, I haven't even turned the news on yet today, but the Lord knows what He said now. It's going to be like that every day. It's like a reality show. What do we get? How do we get them excited? How do we get them to shout? Hallelujah. He's going to give us a show every day of this damn presidency. And it's just awful. I mean, how has society changed because of what bathrooms someone's been going to? Bathrooms they've been going to for years. I saw this girl on MSNBC yesterday, Laverne Cox. If they didn't tell me she was trans, I wouldn't know that. So how in the hell do you go making these judgment calls that they're in the bathroom? Hopefully you guys, with these narrow ideas, will not get these people hurt or have them hurt themselves.